Anybody else have any questions? Does anybody?
One more question, Mr. Chairman.
Councilman Remick?
Is it true that, and this is why I'm concerned too, that does it look like possibly for the future that these facilities could be combined with a wall down the middle of a building to sell and have medical on one side and have the recreational on the other side? Would there be a stipulation on that?
I don't think so. I haven't really seen that as far as a split between the medical and the recreational, because just my, I don't have any stats to back this up, but I believe recreational is gonna completely take over medical for the most part. Most of the businesses, if they have both licenses, are probably mostly gonna be doing recreational, because you don't have to, individuals, like we're all adults here, we wouldn't have to go get a medical marijuana card now, like we do now, to do it. So I would assume that, but the co-location of facilities really has more to do in the discussion of going from grow to processor to dispensary, having, you know, I guess walled off between those facilities. So that's kind of the way things are looking on what businesses want to do as far as producing their own, processing their own, and then having a storefront. So that's really when they talk about co-location, that's what they're primarily talking about, rather than the two medical and recreational.
Gotcha, thank you.
Councilman Johnson?
I've been getting a lot of comments about we're going to lose all this revenue. From my understanding, we're one of the lowest states in tax revenue that we would get, percentage-wise. Am I correct in that assumption?
I don't know what the other revenue cuts are for like Oregon and Colorado, but I'm not really aware of anybody getting any cut of anything from the medical yet. And I know that
for recreational.
No, for medical even, because there was supposed to be a cut for counties and things, and I'm not aware of any payments being made to communities that have been in medical marijuana. But then when this recreational act was passed, it actually repealed that section of the tax sharing, because this one is the one that would take it over. So I'm not aware of any communities getting any cut of the money at this point.
Mr. Chairman, some of the information that I looked at, Washington's excise tax is 37%, Oregon 17%, Massachusetts 10.75%, Colorado and California 15%, so Michigan's 10 is low by comparison.
Does anybody have any questions in the audience? Or?
Actually, Charlie, to your point, and only a certain percentage of that comes back to municipalities too. It goes to various other, that 10% excise tax.
Right, yeah, Mr. Chair, I'd like to clarify, it probably will be part of state revenue sharing, most likely, I'm sure. Just like every other sales tax. Which isn't much.
Thank you.
Okay, can open up the podium if anybody has any questions or comments.
William McDonald, DePage Boulevard. You know, I appreciate everybody being here on kind of a day off, but I do want to kind of express the sentiment that we're here on a day everybody's off to kind of kill something that voters approved. It does, in my opinion, fly in the face of voters, especially the ones in this community who did approve it and worked on it. You know, I do understand the sentiments that you guys have with the concerns about no current regulation that's really fleshed out. But, you know, I at the last meeting when I asked about it, you mentioned these. What regulations in particular are you held up on? What's holding you back that would make you feel more comfortable in specifics?
Well, I'll answer that question. Me specifically is the fact that if we don't opt out, the state can start issuing licenses next Monday, and we have no say-so on where they can go, how many can come, and all that stuff. Our ordinance for the medicinal states all that. So there will only be 2 dispensaries in the city of Taylor that will dispense medical marijuana. So there's just that's my biggest concern. But to me, there's other concerns as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, I can't speak on behalf of the rest of council, but me specifically to answer your question, that's why there's too much unknown, and therefore I felt the same. That's why I voted no on the medicinal one. I'm all for it. I don't care, to be honest with you. Anybody that does it, smoke all you want, do it. Whatever you do in your own home is your business. But I just thought we kind of even rushed into medical. You know, and we're still, you know, just finally